Blessed people of the world, Lassa fever is claiming lives in thousands. Let every homes wage war against Lassa fever and the rodents that is carrying the virus that causes Lassa fever. On this note, I'm welcoming you to my YouTube channel, Talking Earth with Grandpa. What is Lassa fever? Lassa fever is an infectious disease caused by virus but transmitted through an infected rodent called multi-mammate that harbor the virus. And not only harbor the virus, it transmits the virus into the environment where people are living, especially in the kitchen, through their urine and feces. If the urine of these rodents get in touch with your food, or the feces get in touch with your food or your water, then they will transmit easily the virus that they are harboring. And the virus now cause very terrible, deadly diseases called Lassa fever. That is what Lassa fever is all about. Very deadly, very infectious. The incubation period of this Lassa fever is just between 2 days to 21 days, say 3 weeks. If anybody contacts such infection through contaminated food or water by these rodents, then the individual will start show signs and symptoms, which we call the characteristics. Within the 2nd day to 21st day of contacting such, that individual will be having fever, headache, loss of appetite, throat pain, coughing, sneezing, restless, and even to the extent that that individual might be bleeding. That is within that range of contacting that disease and the establishment of the problem in the system. And the signs and symptoms, as I said earlier on, will just erupted in various ways, and it can even cause maternal mortality in pregnant mother. So it affects both male and female, and that's why we should wage war against the existence or breeding of rodents in our environment. It also goes along with a lot of complication in whoever that come in contact with this poisonous virus through those rodents. And that's why we should totally wage war against rodents in our compound, in our villages, in the city, in the community. We should wage war. Don't allow rodents in your environment. Don't allow rodents in your kitchen. Where you are storing your dry food, you preserve it and cover it to prevent rodents getting into it. And as long as you don't allow rodents in your environment, then it will be very difficult for rodents to get into your store where you are keeping your dry foods like garri, like beans, like rice, and a lot of it. And even if you are having leftover food, in terms that the one you have cooked, then make sure you cover it and you don't allow rodents to have access. Not only that, make sure where you are dumping your refuse, the dumping refuse area should be sterilized, should be infected, should not allow rodents breeding. The gutter in front of your house, the gutter beside your house, anything around your house should be rodent free. Is there any bushes? Do you plant any crops like flower or crops like maize or like vegetable? Make sure rodent has no access to them, and make sure that anything that can attract rodent into your premises is prohibited. Not only that, do you know that if you allow rodents in your environment, you are inviting snakes, because snakes look for rodents, and wherever rodent is staying, snakes also will be around that place. And that is the reason why we should make sure we take good care of our environment, and we wage war, serious war against rodents in our environment. Not only that, apart from the part of the system that could be affected, like the kidney, like the liver, like the spleen, like the heart, like the intestine, and even the brain could be affected through this virus if it gets into the system. And once it gets into the digestive system or get into the blood circulation, it will be what? It will be transported to every systems of the body. That is through blood circulation. And that's why I implore you to wage war against rodents that cause Lassa fever, which is very, very deadly, and it has been claiming thousands and hundreds of lives. So people in the villages, people in the city, people in the community should work hard to make their environment so clean to prevent rodent existence. Now, how can we now do a kind of nursing care, even if it happens to any of the family? First of all, reassure that individual that has been showing signs and symptoms, immediately take him or her to the hospital for proper analysis, proper examination, and proper treatment. Not only that, make sure you reassure the patient, make sure you isolate the patient so that the exudate, whatever passing through out of that patient, should not be transmitted to other member of the family. Not that you hate him, you are trying to curtail the spreading of the disease so that you can concentrate more successfully on whosoever that has that disease. Not only that, make sure you check the blood pressures. You check the vital signs rather. That could be checked regularly in the hospital. Then you feed the client very well because the client will become dehydrated. Then with nourishing fluid diet that will empower that individual and will give more immunity for that individual to battle that virus. Not only that, make sure the environment where the client is strictly clean. The exudate that's come out of the patient, other urine, should be disinfected and disposed correctly. The feces that might be coming from that affected person should be disinfected before being discarded. And you that you are even trying to, maybe at home after discharge, you are trying to do the kind of care that we call family care. Make sure, as I've said, reassure, let him have counsel him, and make sure you barrier nurse. We call barrier nurse. You put on your glove, you wash your hand constantly, and whatever when you are carrying anything on him, make sure you protect yourself as well, just to make sure all the family doesn't fall into such problem. And not only that, as I've said, on close observation on that patient, close observation, is he eating well after the discharge? How is the temperature? How is he eating well? Is he sleeping well? All these are very important care, personal care, at least one can give, so that the patient will not run into depression that, oh, they isolate him or they isolate her, they don't touch her, they don't know. Just make sure a kind of what we call barrier nursing. Put on your glove, put on your mask, wear certain gown, that even after taking care of such an individual, you go and dislodge all those things that you have used, like the glove, like the mask, and even the gown that you use should be disinfected, washed, and submerged into an antiseptic lotion, so that you wash it and dry it. Then the mattress the individual is using should be disinfected. The room or the place that individual is residing should be mopped with antiseptic, and make sure everything around that individual is sterile to prevent more damages and allow that individual to heal on time. Now, how can we now prevent rodents in our environment? There are some things there are some environment rodent likes. I will show you some. You see this type of environment where debris, dumping ground, refuse grounds is constantly, you can see rodents there. And that's why, even if you have a dumping ground in your community, such dumping ground should be disinfected, should be taken care of to prevent rodent breeding. And not only that, this is another type of, you see, where people are just passing unwanted luggages. When you park unwanted luggages somewhere in your compound, this can attract rodents at night. And I warn you, if rodent is living with you, then Lassa fever is not far from you. If rodent is living with you, snakes are not far from your environment. So don't allow this in your environment. And even your gutter should be washed. Your front gutter, the gutter in front of your house, the gutter beside your compound should be thoroughly washed and disinfected. Don't allow the pebbles of food like bread, like rice, like remnant of food to be dumped nearer in your houses, so that this can attract rodents. And once it attracts rodents, you are inviting Lassa fever. You are not only inviting Lassa fever, you are inviting possible snakes. And even another problem is that some people fail to do environmental sanitation. Even before the government announce it, it is our responsibility, every home responsibility, to do a kind of environmental sanitation, clear bushes within your environment. And if you are the type that plants something like flowers, please make sure you trim the flowers to make sure there's no hidden space for rodents. Not only that, make sure that wherever water passes, as I've said, you can now see maybe a drainage pass through your area, in your community. Make sure that every Saturdays, at least, every one of us go there, you clean the environment, you sterilize the environment, you wash the drainage, so as not to allow rodents to breed there or to use that place as their inhabitants. So with this, we will be able to prevent rodents in our environment. And the dustbin, the small dustbin you are using, maybe you put it outside or you put it outside, inside. Wherever you put it, let it be clean, let it be clear, and never dump remnant of food like bread, like rice, and some other things inside it. Make sure it's clear and is disinfected. So with this, you will be able to do away with rodents and go far away from Lassa fever. I'm employing every homes to make it as their responsibility, point of duty, to be killing at least 10 rodents, 10 rodents if possible every day. If every compound in Nigeria, every compound in Africa, every compound in the whole world, every compound in the city, every compound in the villages are killing 10 rodents every day or even every week, see, we will exterminate rodents in our country, in our community, in our state, in our villages, in our cities, in our environment, and in our compound. And so this also will help us to make sure we don't have problem with Lassa fever. And if there's any hole, go around your houses. If there's any small hole, plug that hole. Plug it, because any hole that rat sees that could be comfortable for them, they will be living there. And once they have somewhere to live, then when you sleep at night, about as from 6 p.m., they starting looking here and there for what to eat. And if you are the type that you don't close your door, your main door, your front door of your house, you don't close it on time, you open it by 6 p.m., your small rats might run into your house and lodge somewhere there and be multiplying. And before you know it, that food that you put in your kitchen, the one you fail to cover or you forget to cover, could be contaminated with the urine and feces of the rodent that contain that virus that cause Lassa fever. So ladies and gentlemen, Nigerian, Africa, villages, cities, communities, even stores, shops, compounds, let's stand up and improve our personal hygiene, the environmental hygiene, the food hygiene, water hygiene, and personal hygiene. All these need to be improved so that one will demarcate us from having all these diseases such as Lassa fever and the rest of them. Not only that, make sure anytime you see any sign of somebody having temperature, coughing, complain of sore throat, don't delay. Carry that individual to the hospital for clarity's sake, so that thorough investigation, thorough medical test will be carried out, and they will be able to detect the type of disease is having and is incubating. Show love to those who are sick, but very careful to make sure you don't transmit that type of problem from the sick one either to yourself or to the member of the community or to your family. But don't isolate them, encourage them, show them love, support them, assist them, and take good care of them. Lassa fever is very dangerous. It claims thousands of lives, and it is very dangerous. We should wage war to the agent that carries the virus of that Lassa fever. Those are the rodents. Let's wage war and eliminate rodents in our community, in our country, in our city, in our environment, in our compound, in our homes, so that we can live in peace and healthy. So thank you very much for listening. Ladies and gentlemen, continue to subscribe to my YouTube channel on my preventive health, Talking Health with Grandpa. There are a lot of benefits there. Prevention is better than cure. Prevention is what? Is better than cure. And once you subscribe, please view and watch, and make sure you share. And not only share, send your comment to the comment section. That is good. Send your comment, what you think, what you observe, what you want to say on my comment section, on the comment section. I appreciate that. So continue to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Talking Head with Grandpa. Then share it to others to protect life, and comment on the comment section and allow people also to view it. And once you are doing that, you are saving one life or the other. God bless you. Stay safe. Say no to Lassa fever. Say no to rodents breathing in your compound. Say no to snake in your compound. But say yes to long life, good health, sound health, and prosperity. Thank you very much. You are welcome.